Wait, real quick. Which one of y'all got TikTok? I know Tim got a TikTok. Do either one of y'all have a TikTok?
I'll be on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok though.
What he
That
said.
makes sense. That sums up me as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of TikToks I
Wow.
see be on Twitter and stuff.
I was gonna say all the good TikToks wind up on Twitter. So
Yeah.
There's some good ones that they don't even put on Twitter though. Like Sam really be in that damn rabbit hole. He'd be lost for like an hour, like that. But there'd be some good ones. There'd be some creative shit on there, man.
Why
Or
do
funny,
why do
or funny.
the sea shanties be so cracking?
What?
You ain't part of the sea shanty TikTok?
Nope.
No, what is that?
I haven't been on my own personal TikTok in some time.
That's
Well,
not
you
like
know,
shit.
the sea shanties is what like the sailors and stuff used to sing back in the day on the ships and like we're sailing ho and it's like the old timey like
Or would they
listen,
consider
people-
Jodies for any other
Hey,
place?
that sound filthy. I'm sorry.
people.
Hey, as soon as you get in there, you'll see nothing but filth.
Filthy shanty.
Phil.
Telling you, they be cracking. They be cracking.
So you listen to cats singing on boats all day? Is that what you do with your time?
Niggas singing on boats.
Sounds problematic.
That's how you spend your time.
Niggas singing on boats.
Camille, she opened her phone and say niggas singing on boats.
Bro, the first thing she do, she want to roll over and open TikTok is gonna be
Hey,
some motherfucker serenading on some boats.
She go through a compilation of the motherfuckers. The best of niggas singing on boats.
The best of the she said, damn, it's such a tongue twister.
Welcome to episode 183 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
It's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. How are y'all this week? I missed you, as always.
I'm the Eric J.
Only known as
The everyday Eric J.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
Hello. Oh,
the.
I'm just saying, both trying to come for the title.
Big E.
Can't just sashay in her motherfucking spot thinking they just gonna take some shit up. Hold the fuck.
Hey, we've been every day since the limo was white, fam. You can't just come in here talking about you the number one Eric.
And hell, we told you this a long time ago. This ain't new. This ain't our first conversation about this shit. This ain't new. We already talked about this. But welcome.
Shout out
But
to
this
the
ain't new.
Suits podcast. Anyways, back to our intros. I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman.
the everyday gentleman,
24/7.
but better known as K Diddy.
Take that.
All right. You said what?
I ain't hear nobody say take that.
No, Camille said take that.
I whispered it.
Mm-hmm.
I whispered, you know.
It was
Take that. But anyways, you can go ahead and follow us at Technical File on Instagram and the Twitter, TECK. Don't forget to put the K on that motherfucker.
damn right.
You can also follow us on our Facebook page, Technical File Podcast. You can also shimmy on over to our Technical File Pod Overtime group. We could join in with the listeners, fans, and the fam.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about www.technicalfile.com. And you can also find us on YouTube, Technical File Podcast.
I'm sorry, Tim, but this filter makes it look like you got snapped away by Thanos.
I'm out of this world, Joe.
Like just bits and pieces of your face keep disappearing.
Out
The
of
worst thing in the world. But, you know.
Extraterrestrial. And I'm just saying, you ain't got to see everything.
Meanwhile, I have a talk show this week, for mine. But anywho,
Welcome to Talk with Camille.
It's funny because I look like set for like a COVID talk show, like where you can't be in the same room. You just project the host on the wall and then have the guests come in and sit down.
Damn.
Hell no.
That's
Talk.
terrible.
Hey, someone, hey, if y'all want to use that idea, y'all can buy that from us real quick.
Hey, make that. Do that. Hey, I'll be a hype man because now here, like Ellen got her hype dude and shit that come up.
I'm gonna say you have to be the voice. You gotta be the voice.
Oh hell yeah, I'm doing killing that. I'm gonna be on everybody talk show. They be like, that nigga got the voice, nigga. That's the nigga with the voice.
You'll
There
have
is a
more
dude on
jobs than Steve
TikTok that
Harvey.
does that.
Man.
Mm-mm-mm.
But
I
anyway,
like to say every week.
Well, yeah, man. Like I say every week, man. If you guys enjoy being a part of this amazing Tech File fam, share everybody you know. Why did I say it like that?
Practice it for your announcer voice.
Hey, man, but share with everybody you know. Your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your granny, your baby mama, baby daddy, whoever, man. Wherever.
Mhm.
Make sure wherever you listen to this, make sure you
Tell
it's simple. Let's,
about it.
Let's let this family grow, man, and we can't do that without y'all.
Going with you.
why are you just repeating the last few words of his sentences, weird boy?
Hey, they got the ad libs.
Right, dad lives. Stop hating, bro. She like she can't help herself. Let me and him rock. Stop hating.
She can't help herself.
She's gotta hate. Interject the hate.
Hey, she got a talk show now. She don't know
Right.
that.
I mean, we doing our tag team thing, and she want to come out and interrupt the match. Go somewhere.
Talk show Camille out here. She don't know how to act.
I'll take that.
No challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of no challenge. Do either of you have one?
Wait, we did get the confirmation from our challenge from last week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Serial Sensei for taking the
Hey,
time.
bro, you a real one, bro.
Going back
That's what's
and
up. I love
figuring
that.
out that I was wrong. It was not Eric that said the first true cuss word of Tech File.
Mhm.
It was actually the man
Rascally
of 1,000
rabbit.
vests.
Man, that shit was terrible.
It was Tim. It was Tim.
I know it's Tim, man.
Yeah, like it will only make sense for it to be Tim.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, you know, but
I'm pretty sure he said the most profanity on this show by far.
yeah, him and Seth,
Oh,
they still got the
yeah.
record.
Who?
They still got the record.
You said who?
Seth, you and Seth.
But,
That one
I mean,
episode.
curse words per minute, yes.
30 seconds. 130 seconds. That's this nigga. He came in fully clipped with the niggas, bro.
Well, to be
I'm
fair,
like, bro, we edited it still.
to be fair, we
He
stopped
came out,
editing out niggas, so I'm not actually even sure how much we even say that anymore. Like, it's just part of the show at this point. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
I'm positive it's not as frequently as Seth did it.
That's probably true. That's probably
We do be letting the niggas fly though.
For
Nigga.
sure.
I didn't say. I said nigga.
I just watched that video. I kid you not. Can a nigga get a pencil?
And a nigga borrow a french fry. How's a nigga
Go
gonna borrow a
borrow
french fry?
You go borrow it back I was like, dog, that's it. I'm done.
All right, no tech file challenge. Eric.
No.
Wherever you find podcasts, you can find us. That includes Apple Podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
Google Podcasts,
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
Stitcher,
Mhm.
Yeah.
SoundCloud,
Indeed.
Spotify,
Spotify,
Indeed.
Amazon Music.
Indeed.
iHeartRadio, Himalaya,
Oh, indeed.
Indeed.
I
Like
was
a
saying,
player.
like I was waiting for it now.
Wooshka,
Whoosh.
Wooska. Indeed.
and wherever you are listening to this episode right now, while there, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, and review. 5 stars or better. It helps us, and we appreciate it.
Show for show. So before we get into the topics of the week, we want to shout out the top 10 listening cities of the past week and any international listeners that we had. So let's get into it. Number 1, shout out to the hometown, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, y'all clawed your way back in. I like it. Bam, bam, bam.
They did. Number 2 was a very close number 2 behind them, and that was Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
On what? What?
Okay.
Oh, hell? What's going on, Florida?
Hello.
Coming in
Down.
at number 3 spots, we have Racine, Wisconsin.
Ray
Hello,
Silla.
Neil.
At number 4, we have Crowley, Texas.
Crowley. Be
What's
there
going
every
on?
week.
Texas gonna pop up
Welcome
sooner or
back.
later.
This is a week of very familiar cities. Like this is a week of diehards. Like these are cities that we give a lot of love to.
Mhm.
Number 4, we got Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Boiling Brook, what's going on?
Number 6, we got Copers Cove, Texas.
Oh, Copper's Cove, welcome back.
Welcome back.
You know? Number 7, we got Cypress, Texas.
Cypress.
Oh, Texas showed out this week. Okay.
Hey,
I
number
see
8,
y'all.
we got Appleton, Wisconsin.
Hello,
Oh,
neighbor.
Appleton.
Oh, there's a lot
Number
of familiar
9,
faces.
we got Brookfield, Wisconsin.
Hey,
Hello,
welcome
Hey, raise the
Hey,
roof
raising the
for
roof.
Brookfield.
neighbor.
Let's go. Raise the roof. Fuck a man.
Number 10, we got New Berlin, Wisconsin.
Okay, New
Hello,
Berlin.
neighbor.
A lot of Wisconsin love this week. A lot of Texas love. So that's what's up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
International listeners included. Oh, we have 5 different international listeners this past week
that's
from
cool.
5 different countries. I mean, we had Colombia.
Okay, what's going on, Colombia?
We had the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, what's going on?
Hello.
Well,
We had our neighbors to the north. We had Canada.
hey, what up,
Hey.
Canada? What's going on? Hey, y'all Canadians, why do y'all like that show, Kenny something, bro? Somebody sent me Kenny letter or some shit like that.
Kenny,
It's-
what?
Just Google it. It's called letter. It's a Canadian. It's a Canadian like comedy. And somebody sent. They was like, if you like Seinfeld, you would like this. I'm like, man, this shit garbage. But welcome, Canada.
We also had Russia.
Russia, what's going on, man? Where you been at? Where you been?
Making elections.
I'm not saying nothing about that. I'm gonna just. We also had last but not least, we had Ireland.
Ireland, what's going
What's
on?
going on, folks?
Good old
Welcome.
Ireland.
I'm gonna try something. If it works, it works. If it don't, we don't have to do it again. But I got this like sports calendar that tells you like what certain anniversaries and birthdays are. So this is the 18-year anniversary of the Tuck Rule game.
18 years.
Dang, 18?
18 years on this day in 2002.
Yeah.
No, 19 years. Shit, it ain't 2020 no more.
Yes.
Wow.
And Tom Brady's going into another championship game.
So
Correct.
that's a fact for today as we're recording. What's a fact for the first
For
release date?
tomorrow, on this
For
day,
Wednesday.
Minneapolis Lakers center George Mikan scored 61 points.
George Mikan.
Birthdays include Ron Harper and Brian Giles.
Ron Harper.
Ron
Okay.
Harper always looked
Happy
like he
birthday.
was someone you just did not want to fight with. I don't know. He always gave me that energy, but
His
happy
son
birthday.
is at St. John's, I think. Baldwin. Ron Harper Jr.
That's crazy. We are at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what?
Asante Samuel Jr. and Frank Gore Jr. are like stars in college. So yeah.
Hey, we're gonna see Winfield Jr. this upcoming weekend. So
Yeah.
you know what? Let's get into the topics for the week. Since we own it, we might as well just talk about these playoffs.
Playoffs.
Whoops.
Do y'all want to start with the AFC picture or do y'all want to start with the NFC picture?
You always say the best for last.
Alrighty.
We're going on.
You couldn't even get your joke out. Now who hating? Hating from outside the club.
Hey, chill out.
So this upcoming weekend, the AFC Championship game is going to be the Buffalo Bills up against the Kansas City Chiefs. 5:40. It is the last game on Sunday. We got here because the Bills beat the Ravens 17-3, and then the Chiefs beat the Browns 22-17. Both of their star quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes, left due to concussion protocols and did not return to their respective games. But the Chiefs, unlike the Bills, were able to pull that out with their backup.
Yeah, unlike the Ravens.
That's right. Unlike the Ravens. Y'all know what I meant.
It's a bad week for black quarterbacks.
I said
Yeah.
that.
Not just talking about the football games either.
But
Wait, who else had the back?
Deshaun.
Deshaun.
Oh yeah.
But I was watching, so I got to watch majority of the games, and that I missed the Bills Ravens game. That's the one I did miss, though. I was sad about that.
I mean,
But from what I seen,
after Lamar got hurt, you already knew that it was just wasn't about to happen.
yeah.
That one was kind of
But it-
anticlimactic, but the Chiefs, on the other hand, like that, the Chiefs Browns was a good game.
And then again, you think the Browns was gonna pull it out, but
Anything possible.
these are some good games, though. I mean, every game that happened on over the weekend were fantastic showcases. The only downside, like you said, going into the AFC Championship game, now we have Buffalo, who is almost healthy outside of Devin Singletary, and then you have the Chiefs, who will be hoping that their star quarterback is recovering, even though he said he took big steps today because he was in concussion protocol. So even though he took some steps forward today, he still has a long way to go until he's actually cleared to play. So then you got Chad Henne in the AFC Championship game against the Bills defense, who's.
Let me just ask y'all this real quick. If Pat Mahomes does not play on Sunday, do the Chiefs win? Yes or no?
No.
No one believes in Henne. That was a one week thing.
I mean, you can believe in Andy Reid, but
Well, I mean, like, didn't Henny like throw? I don't know. He messed up at the end of that game. Yeah, I was gonna say like he was really bad until like that last little drive to kind of salt away the game. So it's not like he came out like game busters or anything.
No, you don't want him the whole game.
No.
The whole game. No,
I mean, it's Chad Henne. We've been seeing him for as long as we've been seeing Tom Brady. So
true.
He is who he is at this point.
that Bills defense is wild. Like they've been having a really good defense for a couple years now, but they have the offense to match, and Stephon Diggs is just showing out, bro. Like showing out. Him and Josh Allen.
That's the difference, I think, between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen at the moment. When did Allen take off? When he finally got a true number one wide receiver. When he got Diggs this year, everything clicked. Because having that guy, it's very important. Who do Lamar got? Hollywood Brown? We're gonna
Mark Andrews is a really good one. He don't even throw to him like he should.
Mark Andrews is a pretty decent tight end, but he ain't on the same level as a Stephon Diggs. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, he needs a true number one, like somebody.
I agree.
If Allen Robinson don't come here, like
they got Kenny Galladay is a free agent.
Kenny Galladay would be a
Juju
nice.
Schuster is a free agent.
I don't know if Juju really. Juju had a weird year. I don't know how to.
I'm gonna blame that on Ben.
I've been saying that.
I think so. I think that was more Ben.
He really wouldn't throw the man the ball.
I didn't know how to feel about Juju.
He didn't. He literally would he would aim at him or target Juju like sometimes 3 times a game, maybe 2. Like there were games he just wouldn't throw the man the ball. And you're like, how? Why? Maybe because it was his contract year. Now the man running around on Fortnite in Packer jerseys.
He was on Fortnite. He definitely did have on Packer. Hey, Juju, you can come here for show. You know what I'm saying?
Should I take Kenny Galladay?
Kenny, you can come up here too. Allen
Robinson.
I'm fine allocating the money that we have at wide receiver currently. Like they getting the job done.
True.
No, they're getting the job done.
You can spend that money somewhere else.
I mean, that is very fair. It was like what I argued earlier, but I'm just saying, if a wide receiver want to come and add another Super Bowl,
if they want to come for the vet man, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on up here. Like, I ain't saying
pay them market rate.
Let me get this clear. I'm not saying pay these. No, they're saying these ain't no big contract. I'm saying come up here to get a ring. Like, you know what you're doing. Come up here and get a ring. Y'all amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of up here in our wide receivers, we got Tampa Tom in town.
NFC, yes, sir.
Oh wait, we gonna do a pick 'em?
The Rams and.
I
thought we all just pretty much said that Patrick Mahomes don't.
Yeah, she's like,
yeah,
I thought she said if he don't play, but if he does play, then you got.
Oh, so if he do play, y'all anybody taking Buffalo?
No,
I got the Chiefs then if he plays.
Actually, you know what? No, I will take Buffalo. If he does play, I'm not gonna change it either way because I trust Buffalo's defense.
No, I'm going State Farm Bowl. Whoever clicking the pin.
Oh, that's me, my bad. But Buffalo has the complete package on offense and defense right now. Granted, they don't have the high-powered offense of the Chiefs, but their defense is just as good as their offense. The Chiefs' defense isn't just as good as their offense. So it's going to come into either a shootout and it's gonna come down to which team can make the stop first. And I would bet on Buffalo's defense making a stop before I make bet on the Chiefs. So I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Okay.
I was 4-0 last weekend. I'm hoping I'm 2-0 this weekend. I want to State Farm Super Bowl. I'm going Kansas City. That's if the Pat Mahomes don't play, then of course I'm going with Buffalo. But man, I really want to see that Super Bowl. But as Tim was saying, in the North, Packers defeated the Rams this past weekend, 32-18. Pretty much smacked that number one defense. Eric had to put the mask on because it's, just represent real quick. Hey,
Eric
and
getting away. Goddamn.
and
get around my ears.
the smooth transition and vision. But yeah, the offense looked good. The defense made some stops when they needed to, and Jared Goff actually didn't look as bad as I thought he would.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised after the game when Sean McVay was pretty much like, I'm evaluating every position, everybody. I was like, dang, I don't get it. Quarterback too, yeah, everybody. But apparently they don't have a great relationship at the moment.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff looked better than Mike Pettin was expecting him to, because his game plan looked like he didn't think he'd be able to throw it all.
Man, we've been in this soft ass zone for like pretty much like the last 6 games. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we started to play 10 yards off the guy. Like, bro, what are y'all doing on 1st and 10? Why are we here? 3rd and 5. We are at the 15. Why are we 15 yards off that man? What are we doing?
I guess in his defense, they have won all 6 of those games, and
that's what I'm gonna say. We have not.
And there are
lost.
no big plays. Like, they're not allowing big plays essentially.
True,
they get off the field when they need to.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're in essence giving up the short yardage in exchange for the big play down the field. Mm-hmm. It's just that in those situations where we're 3rd and 5, I wouldn't expect for us to give up 5 yards easily.
I can definitely see the argument that there should be some more situational man coverages played. Like, yeah, but we understand the big premise of what he's trying to do, but it wasn't fair. It was.
If you go play that far off blitzing,
and the crazy thing is, so we're playing against the Buccaneers in the championship game. Buccaneers beat the Saints. Tom Brady, he will steady eat a full diet of underneath if that's what you're gonna give him. Like he'll take the diet.
Wow. But yeah, if we're gonna play that far off, we would have to we have to blitz. We have to send some more pressure. We can't just send 4 guys and then play 10 yards off of them. Yeah, they're gonna eat all day. They got 3 wide receivers who are fucking phenomenal. You got 3 number 1 wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Give Chris Godwin, and Godwin's a free agent. I'm sorry, Godwin's a free agent after this year too. So we'll take him up here too.
Let's say 2 in a P, because Antonio Brown
got back to form.
Not
I'll be honest, I forgot he was on that team.
See what I'm saying?
But I mean, the last couple games of the season, Antonio Brown is what's been a big motor there. Like, he's been getting his touchdowns, especially.
Wasn't he forcing the ball?
Yeah, but it wasn't
I wouldn't say forcing it.
Earlier in the season he was, and then it was kind of like a lull, and then he kind of picked up the last 2 games, but
because Evans, I think, got hurt.
All I'm saying is, injuries. At this point, he a P. I don't really know if he's still a true number 1 or not.
Antonio Brown is still a scary wide receiver, regardless, even at 75%.
That's a different argument that I can get on board with.
Sorry, if you're 75% of what Antonio Brown used to be, you're not a number 1 receiver no more.
Because you're saying even if he's a P, that's still a number 2. Okay, damn, he got 2 number 1s and a number 2.
All she was arguing was that he had a number 1.
Thank you. That was it.
We'll go there. Okay, that's what I said. Okay, well then, if that's the case, 2 number 1s and a P. If that P, he's still a number 2. He's still a dangerous wide receiver. Any number 2 wide receiver, won't say any, but Antonio Brown as a number 2 on this team in the slot is a dangerous wide receiver still.
We don't disagree there. Yeah, we wouldn't disagree on the whole. It was literally just that piece.
Okay, we're gonna pass that now.
Yeah.
But no, he's trying to keep it pushing. We ain't gonna harp on that.
But we just harped on it for 2 minutes.
Now we gone.
The Buccaneers beat the Saints. Drew Brees, he didn't look too great. He did not have a good game.
That was rough.
The arm was noodly. The ducks were flying.
Stick a fork in that guy.
Yeah, it was looking bad,
Yeah.
these last couple of games, but it was just a culmination of just everything that people have been saying about his game, how it's declined. Like the
Mhm.
Saints offense was kind of built around his decline towards the end there. Like that's why Kamara was always so cold. Like we just gonna go underneath. We just gonna go underneath. But
And
Drew
Michael
used to be able to
Thomas.
at least sneak one deep ball and like he used to at least get
Mm.
one, maybe two. He wasn't even trying no more. He was seeing dudes on the seam and he was just looking like, dang, I wish I could.
Like, damn, he gone.
I would-
You ran right
Yeah.
past that man.
Dang,
Oh,
he's
too far from me.
that man.
What happened? You got the line too fast, blood. Couldn't get it there.
I can't throw that far no more.
He was gone though.
It seems that was Drew Brees' final game. Before the game began, Glazer came out with the report saying that was going to be Brees' last game in the Superdome. So it seems like that's going to be the case. Drew himself has not come out and said it, but he spent some time on the field after the game, just kind of taking everything in. I believe they report said he was out there for about 2 hours with his family after the game, just kind of
Playing catch your time in there.
Breaking the hell out of COVID protocol.
Bro, kicking it.
man
On the field.
Tom Brady
National
walked up,
TV.
no mask.
Right.
Everybody like,
throwing passes to his son. Like,
what the fuck?
Hey, his son that was a nice catch. That was a nice catch.
That was a hell of a catch. That
Yeah.
was a hell of a catch.
I was impressed. Like,
Somebody on Twitter was
yeah,
like,
only,
he's so
that's
used to
the only
throwing
thing
to
he
people.
catch.
No, somebody said that he's so used to throwing to Julian Edelman. It was a perfect pass. Of course it was. I'm like, damn.
Same
like, damn. Like, I got a point.
But
blooded.
jokes aside, if that is Drew Brees' game, we all know Drew's a legend. Like,
Yeah.
Father Time just caught up to him at the end there, but he's an all-timer. So
fantastic career though. He got a ring, and he got a ring, so you can't be mad at him.
He got one. So, but Packers, Buccaneers, as a reminder, kicked our behind back in I think week 6. It was of the season.
Yes, it was. We
came out to a 10-0 lead. Aaron was doing double pumps in the end zone, and the next thing you know, we didn't score again.
And that was the game everybody said he was forcing it to Adams, and
he was, because it was Devontae's first game back. I feel like the offense is in a better place than
the trust is there now with the other receivers.
Yeah, the offense is better. The line should protect better. They were kind of caught off guard with Bakhtiari out in that game as well, and they did not do well. But I think they're a little bit more solidified now.
Valdir's back now too, right?
He should be. But
So he'll
Buccaneers are getting Vita back too. And Vita did not play in our initial matchup. So that's a whole other dynamic that line is going to have to account for. Well, listen.
But he's going off serious injury, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So.
Hey, we'll see. That's a big body. We'll see.
I mean, we got AJ Dillon, but he can't be putting the ball on the floor.
Is AJ Dillon playing? I thought
I was gonna say, didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Oh, is his squad? I didn't see that with the final.
I haven't seen any updates on. I would assume he's not playing.
Because I ain't seen nothing that he wasn't, so that's why I assume that we may still, unless something might come out tonight or something.
Oh, he's hopeful that he'll be available.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, we got Dillon, so he plays. So that would definitely wouldn't hurt. We got Williams, who's a strong back, but they got Levante David.
Like that defense is stacked. The Buccaneers defense is stacked. But the Packers just saw a stacked defense this past week and carved them up. Different defenses. I'm not trying to equate the two. Like they have different strengths, but this Packers offense is really humming right now. And Matt LaFleur is throwing in some interesting play calls and wrinkles. So we'll see. I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Of course.
I feel like this is a vindication.
Green and gold Super Bowl.
This is the revenge game. This will be the opposite of last year with San Francisco. I'm putting it on wax. I'm trusting my gut. I'm hoping that
we can stop the run. we can play run defense now.
Make Brady uncomfortable. Stop the run. Score some points. Score some points. Duh, but you know what I mean. Just figure it out. But y'all got to make Brady uncomfortable. He too smart to be given time.
I just want to say, the best wide receiver in the league had Jalen Ramsey struggling.
Hey,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that man
Ramsey
played.
yelling at everybody.
he had Ramsey pretending to be in zone coverage. Like,
We seen you chasing him across the field and couldn't get there. You acting like we ain't see you start on the left and run to the right as soon as Devontae took off. All you heard was, damn. He caught that motherfucker. He started yelling at everybody. He started yelling at the grass and shit. Like, no, he on the sideline yelling at the iPads. Like, come on, bro. He was yelling for a minute. Like, he went into halftime. They still showing him yelling at cats.
he was upset. He is upset. But yeah, I'm going Green Bay. Ken, who you got?
Not to be a hater or nothing. I want the story of Tom Brady going to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, you ain't being a hater.
I mean, you
want.
you took your Bears hat off. Like, you was representing the squad. We know what it is.
We live rent free there. You ain't got a hat on. You ain't gotta have that hat on. Back is rent free.
I think Tom Brady going to the Super Bowl with another team. I mean, he trying to prove the GOAT conversation has to begin with him.
That's
I
fair.
don't even think it's really a conversation at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he makes it, that solidifies it.
Ain't no.
I mean, I think
yeah, he the GOAT.
the most accomplished quarterback in NFL
easily.
history.
And if he does make it, that would also, for a lot of people, be like, oh, maybe it was time. And not Bill.
I think at this point, you can't look at what he's been able to do this season and say anything but that. Like, I don't think that him winning or losing this game takes away from him. Like,
No.
I think he proved his point. Like, I mean, of course, he wants to take the Super Bowl and really prove his point, but we see where his team is at, and we saw what happened in New England.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know
the fact that they didn't have no wide receivers in New
England.
None.
I don't know how much different the year in New England would have went with Tom Brady at quarterback still, and that's part of the reason why he left, because he saw the writing on the wall. Like,
bro, y'all ain't trying to do nothing. Y'all trying to practice squad players, bro. Y'all getting dirt free agents done. Like, what y'all doing?
Man, they didn't have. Yeah,
it was go win 15 games with them, huh? What?
Now they gonna go trade for Deshaun, and we gonna be mad.
Man,
that would suck. Oh my God, I would hate that. I forgot the Patriots usually swoop in and just snatch motherfucker. That would hurt. But I'd be happy for Deshaun. But that would hurt.
And the Patriots are they
the team to do.
They're considered a team that should be
looking for a quarterback,
trying to go and do it. So I mean,
they sacrificed Cam as the first black quarterback. So like now Deshaun can swoop in, and they don't even have to worry about all that bullshit.
I mean, shit, Deshaun just won out anyway, so he don't give a fuck where he goes. Sounds like it.
Hey,
he got no trade calls though, so he
Chicago's a great city.
Deshaun, what?
Deshaun, Chicago's a great city, bro.
Y'all want a black quarterback?
Y'all ain't. I don't know how y'all would do that.
Y'all want a black quarterback? That's what y'all gonna do?
We need it.
Time out. Bears ain't really got y'all ain't got like cap space like that.
We don't got shit.
I don't know how if y'all was able to pull that off, y'all would be wizards. Like
they gonna give them like 2 times the RG3 trade, like first rounders for the next 5 years, the whole draft this year.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen though.
And Khalil.
Let me ask y'all this: do y'all want to just keep? Do y'all just want to keep talking about Deshaun Watson in that situation, or do y'all want?
I figured that's what we was doing anyways.
All right, we just keep it rolling then. If you haven't heard, Deshaun Watson, star quarterback of the Houston Texans, apparently wants out of Houston. And this is, keep in mind, 4 months after he signed a contract extension. He signed an extension before the season started. Mm-hmm. And he wants out. Because as Tim talked about last week during his blow the whistles, the Texans have been just completely incompetent when it comes to figuring out how to treat their star quarterback and how to make decisions. It's been real messy over there. So I'm gonna ask y'all this: do y'all think the Texans should actually trade him?
Yeah, get him out of there.
Or should they keep him? I can't recall the last time a quarterback of this caliber was on a trade market. Like, you don't get quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson every day.
True. No. That's why they should trade him. They can get some draft capital. You got a young you got a couple young quarterbacks in this draft. try to get a higher pick or get a pick back because you don't have your first round pick this year. So if you got a disgruntled franchise star that you know you can get multiple first or multiple second or multiple draft capital on, since you have this, you're rebuilding anyway. Your team is shit. So go ahead and trade him. Get him off the team like he wants. Granted, yeah, you don't want to give a player what they want, but in this case, you should give the player what they want because it'll help you more than it'll help him. Try to hold on to him. Yeah. Honestly. Then go ahead and find another quarterback, groom him to the culture that you want. If that's what y'all want to do, it's gonna be shit anyways. But go ahead and get rid of him. Go ahead and just recoup some assets and call it a wash. And try to do your best with what you've gotten. But no point in holding on to him. Then go ahead and trade JJ up north. We got some draft picks we can hide, find some randomly. But go ahead, just recoup, just start over. They could just rebuild. That's where they're at. They're in rebuild. They refusing to rebuild.
Well, that's just before I get to my point, I just want to. It's a rough time to be a Houston sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
First, you lose your World Series essentially.
Your baseball team cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Then you lose your franchise, your whole franchise basketball in the NBA.
Yeah.
Harden gone, Westbrook gone, Morey gone, D'Antoni gone.
Damn.
Now you're gonna lose your franchise quarterback and the face of your franchise and JJ Watt probably in the same offseason.
Damn.
Shit was all good 3 years ago.
Shit, last year they was legit. Last year they was on top of the world and shit.
I didn't think about how rough it's been in Houston as a sport.
Yeah, Houston sports has really taken a big hit. Big hit.
Very
good. It all comes from the ownership.
Y'all stay up.
Every single issue has started with ownership.
Hey, y'all could do this trade with the Jets and get Sam Darnold.
They don't want that
much. But the Jets do have the number 2 pick this year.
So 2 plus Darnold for Deshaun?
You probably don't have to give up another. You don't have to get. I've been saying.
I mean, that's the starting.
Talking about
right. That's what we'll start. That's starting.
There. Yeah. We can start talking there, but yeah, they're talking about this trade could command probably 3 first-round draft picks. Like he's worth 3.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gonna get some good draft capital back for Deshaun. He's a franchise quarterback.
But that's also the thing. Like you give up. I mean, like basically, your best case scenario is winding up right back here with a 25-year-old franchise quarterback. Like there's a reason why they never come on the market and why they never get traded, because that's essentially the whole ball game. So it's like, unless you actually believe that he's gonna sit out, or unless you just get an overwhelming offer, like I say, try to make it work. You got him under contract. Like from a personal standpoint, like I'd be like, let his ass go. But like if I'm the organization, like no, there's no way, because for the reason I just said, like he's 25, he's franchise, he's locked in forever, huh?
I said, and don't nobody want to really come play for the Texans.
Right, which is why I said that you should go ahead and get rid of him and grab one of these young quarterbacks that's coming in. You got Trevor Lawrence coming in, Justin Fields coming in, Sam, what's his name, Matine?
A benefit of going with a young quarterback that like Tim is naming off is that you don't have to pay him as much.
Right, rookie deals. You go because you got to take the salary cap hit. You're gonna take the salary cap hit for trading them.
And then if you also are getting off of JJ Watt, then you'll probably get off with some other contracts and really go all in on a rebuild.
And it's some good. If you're looking for offense, like again, you're looking for another quarterback. You got 5 in there. You got Mac Jones in there too.
It's a tough sell for fans though to get on board with that.
And again, like if you're taking the cap hit for him not to play on your team, I'd rather take the cap hit to have him on my roster.
That's a fair point too.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are another team that apparently that's a team that Watson was like, I'd like to go play there because he has a no trade clause in his contract, but he was like, I'd waive it. I'd waive it for Miami.
Yeah, what time's over already?
Tua time in Houston. You can sell Tua in Houston. Like that's a sell you can make.
I mean, after the way he played this year, can you?
I mean, it's only
he wasn't terrible. He was a rookie. Like rookies go through
Dolphins players don't like him. That's what I've seen. They're like, nah, he ain't it, boss.
Maybe he
So
needs a
I'm
new
saying
locker room.
know.
Maybe
Right,
he
so
needs
maybe
a
he need
new,
to change the scenery.
a new environment. 'Cause if it ain't gonna work out there,
Like he young, you know, he just got here. He ain't even been here that long. Go ahead and move him around too. Give him a change of scenery.
No, then in that case, you gotta get JJ out of there because you know he'll throw him under the bus ASAP.
oh JJ is not about to play with dude. No, JJ out of there. If Deshaun Watson is traded, it's a guarantee that JJ Watt is traded because he already came out and said, I don't want to have nothing to do with no rebuild. And then he added, as long as you have a quarterback like Deshaun, though, you always have a chance to be a contender because they're just that talented. So in his head, it sounded like he was saying, as long as he here, I'm here. Y'all get rid of him, I ain't coming back. But he might not come back even if Deshaun do come back. But if Deshaun go first, JJ is the next domino for sure.
It just seems like systematically, like they made a decision, let's say 18 months ago, to just completely alienate every positive thing that they have in their franchise. Like from keeping Bill O'Brien when that was clearly not the case, allowing him to make, to have free reign over transactions, getting rid of pretty much every good offensive piece you have, position-wise. Not having a cultural accountability that is clearly important to JJ Watt, alienating your quarterback, telling him that he can have input in the search for the next GM, and then completely disregarding what he said.
Hard no.
Hiring who you wanted anyway, who you tried to get last year. So it's not like you can say, oh, this guy just,
he wild as this year.
Realized, like, no, you've been lusting after him for 2 years now. Like, and I think that's the biggest thing is like, it's just disrespectful. Like, don't tell me one thing and then do the complete opposite and then try to gaslight me and tell me, oh, no, you tripping. That ain't what it is. Like, I want to.
When Andre Johnson came out of the woodworks to be like, hey, get my mans out of here, I was like, oh, no, it's bad. It's real bad. So I'm going to ask y'all this last question, then we'll move on from Deshaun. Is he a Houston Texan next season?
No.
Yes.
I'm going to go with no here. I'm seeing too many other former players speak up with some kind of pull that makes me think that they ain't going to go for it. And I think Andre Johnson even posted a picture that said, like, stand your ground. Like, don't give in on this. Like we here.
Again, unless he's willing to sit out, like, I know NFL teams and they don't like allowing players to have any type of leverage. So the rest of the league, I mean, unless they have a shot at getting to Deshaun Watson, like the rest of the league is going to be rooting for them to hold on because that just opens the floodgates. So, I mean, granted, not everybody has the leverage that Deshaun Watson has, but if anybody does, like that kind of just nudges that door open a little bit more. NFL ain't going for that.
We'll see what happens. But overall, we all want what's best for Deshaun. Y'all know we a fan of
for sure.
Deshaun over here. So. Speaking of trades, though, since Houston just hold on with us, we'll go to the radio after this or something like that. James Harden, he was traded in a blockbuster 4-team deal since the last time we all got together to talk. Ironically enough, it seemed that the play that broke him was the one that we were talking about on the show where LeBron hit that three and turned his back and and won. James Harden came out to that press conference like, we ain't good enough. Like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't it. I'm out of here. Then the next day he was traded to the Nets.
For quite the whole, I mean, it was quite the trade.
By this point, y'all probably already know who went where. Nets got James Harden, second rounder. Out of nowhere, Oladipo got traded. We were like, wait, what? Where did this come from? But it became part of this 4-team trade. So the biggest names they got traded: Depot, Harden, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. Oh, and Brooklyn gave up like all of their control over first round picks until like
2028.
Yeah.
4 first and 4 pick swaps.
Although to be fair, like one of those first came from Cleveland, so which was basically like, yeah. And then one of the pick swaps is this year, and there's almost no chance that the Nets pick is going to be lower than, or the Nets pick will be better than Houston. So let's just assume they're not going to swap picks this year. stranger things have happened though. So
Yeah.
so sweet.
But we got a new big three in the NBA. We got Kyrie Irving, we got Kevin Durant, we got James Harden. At the time of this recording, we have seen James Harden and KD play together, and boy, do they play together beautifully.
Bro.
Yeah.
Beautifully.
Right, for real.
Them cats, man.
It's a joy to watch them play basketball. I can't even it's a joy to watch the two of them play basketball together. Like it just works. And KD is as an assassin. He's probably my MVP favorite at the moment, right? Like this dude.
James Harden creates wide open KD shots.
Listen, James Harden. I was watching this Nets Bucks game, and James Harden had like two, maybe three turnovers, trying to figure out his timing, just like with Andre Jordan alone. Like, this is going to be a good team when they put it together. Well, how we saw it.
We'll see what happens when Wildcard come back.
That's what I'm saying. Now, when you throw Kyrie back into here, what do you think you get? Because some of that is a little bit.
This is a team that I feel like can only beat themselves, and given the mix of players that they have, I could easily see a situation where they do exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like talent-wise, like yes, it should work. But once egos get involved and like, you know, the high pressure situations of the playoffs, like that's when your true selves come out. And if y'all ain't right, y'all can be, you know, you can get broken.
Hold on. They had a little run last night against the Bucks. That was a good one. That was a good fucking game.
It was a
good ass game.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
They played us on the time, but that was a good ass game, bro. Like for real. I was just sitting the trade buckets and that run that KD and Harden had, where they both scored 4 points apiece. No, it was like it was towards the end of the game where KD scored, then all of a sudden Harden stole it, came back, scored, and KD, I think we had another turnover and KD scored again. I'm like, bro, like it was like they was playing tennis. I'm like, bro, it's like Harden KD. Oh, this shit is gross, bro. And then the shots these motherfuckers was hitting. I'm like, you can't play no better defense than some of these cats. And this shit, like they high-fiving these motherfuckers cash. Like, what the fuck?
Listen, I always say this, like, no matter how good the defense is, great offense is going to beat it. Like, that is just the way it works every time, no matter how sound you are. Like, transitional, like it will win out. You might get lucky. Like, I believe the Bucks, I'm gonna have to look up the box score, but James Harden and KD, I think, put up like 64 shots or something like that and had a combined like 64 points. Like, it was like the Bucks were making them work, but that's all you can really do. You got to make it uncomfortable. And they did that when they had the right personnel in the group or in the game holding them. But you don't want to see Dante and Pat Connaughton. Like, you can't have dudes like that trying to hold James Harden and
46 shots.
I'm fine with Dante. Like, Dante kind of held his own. Pat, I definitely don't want to see Bryn Forbes on either one of them. Like,
no.
if that happens, you have failed as a defense. Like, I know it wasn't on purpose, but if y'all switch off and he ends up on Harden or KD, like,
you better foul, call timeout.
Right? Like,
I'm like, bro, how long to watch them niggas cook? Like, how long are they gonna be flambeed on TV like this?
Man, I was sitting there craning my neck trying to look at the bench like, is Drew sitting up? Is Drew up?
Can somebody call Tori? Somebody go get Tori. Like,
we'll get to the Bucks later, though. We'll get to the Bucks later. But the Nets, again, beautiful. Like, you can't front on that team. Like, it's beautiful.
It's a good squad on paper. They was already, to me, they were the best squad on paper before the season started. And then this trade makes them still the best squad on paper.
It doesn't change how I view the team. Like, Brooklyn was always in my head, even when it was just KD and Kyrie. Like, actually, no, I'm lying. They might be a little bit more scary now because if they actually figure it out, like it's ungodly.
It might be a wrap.
Like,
like low-key, it might just be a wrap.
Like, going back to my earlier point, like, I think Kyrie is the piece that actually doesn't fit. Like, yeah, like if shit breaks down, like you have a third guy that can just create something out of nothing. But I think if you surround KD and James Harden with role players, like I think that's all you need, honestly. Like the two of them, like
Truly.
because now you introduce another personality into that, like that feels like, oh, I should be getting this shot, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. The ball should be in my hands. Like that's gonna take away. Like at some point, there's diminishing returns, right? Offensively. So if you can
I'll be
allocate
curious
like
to see how. No, I was gonna say like the ball movement. You made me think like because the thing with the two of them playing together, KD and Harden, they will move the ball. Like they're unselfish in that way. Like they want their shots in the fort, like you know who to get a ball to, but they're gonna move the ball. You throw Kyrie in there too. Do you think you're gonna get some more ISO? Like, does it mess up actually like the flow of the game? Because like they were playing beautiful ball yesterday.
I think there's more ball stoppage. I think there's more your turn, my turn, his turn, your turn, my turn, his turn. Like you can do that with two people. Like through the history of big threes, like somebody always has to take a step back. And that's usually there's somebody that's not like a dominant all ball player anyway that would naturally take that step back. Like you bring in Kevin Durant to Golden State, like Klay Thompson don't need to dribble the ball 15 times every offensive possession. Like Steph Curry doesn't even really dominate the ball like that. Like, or in Miami, like, yeah, you can turn Chris Bosh into a shooter, rim protector, roll man. Like, it wasn't what he was doing in Toronto, but he's built for that role. Like, if you take the ball out of Kyrie's hands, like, are you just making him a spot up shooter? Like, is that really maximizing his?
Maybe a pick and roll.
I was agreeing with you. You do that, and Kyrie is not as effective anymore. Like Kyrie is most effective when he's able to break somebody down. Like he has some of the coldest whips you're gonna see.
Yeah.
But again, like as the Bucks have kind of proven in the last couple of years, like you need shot creation in the playoffs. So having three guys that are elite shot creators for themselves and others, like it's a good problem to have. Let's put it that way. But again, like it's kind of personality match for me even more than the on-court fit. Because somebody get mad at the wrong time,
I agree.
Torpedo everything.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be interesting. It's gonna be some good games, man. It's gonna be some good. It was honestly surreal seeing him on in the Nets jersey yesterday. I was just sitting there like,
yeah, it's still
nah, just nah. Like this really happened. Like this, he really on the Nets with KD again. They teammates again. Like
grown this time
with Jeff Green. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a fun season, man. It's gonna be real fun. Once these like the heavyweights,
they won't be able to defend anybody, but we got that much.
We saw that. we saw that when the Bucks played them. The Bucks was terrible from three today's standards, and they weren't that dominant in the paint.
Orlando was lighting their ass up.
Yeah.
Orlando was lighting their ass up. Even average 3-point shooting game for last season, like this is a win easily, but
29% from three, won't we?
No, that you know what? We'll talk about the Bucks later. I'll ask y'all this, and then we can move on. How do y'all feel about the return that Houston got? Like, how do you feel about where Houston is, given the fact they gave up their franchise player?
They Boston out of West. We'll see what they do with the pieces. We'll see what they do with the mini draft picks. Like they got Oklahoma. The next couple drafts, you go hear Houston, Oklahoma, right? But I mean, we'll see.
And New Orleans too. Yep.
Yeah, New Orleans. Like we'll see what they do with the pieces. But they set themselves up to not only either draft, but use those pieces to allocate other pieces if they need to. John Wall ain't trash. Like he ain't playing bad. Christian Wood hooping. Sterling Brown found a game in Houston. like, I mean, it's not like they got a terrible team when they're no longer like a perennial contender, but it's not like they're trash. So they'll dwell in the 7, 8, 9 spot, but they have the ability to get out of that if they use the draft capital that they receive back.
I feel like it's a bet that KD, Kyrie, and James Harden isn't a long-term solution in Brooklyn, essentially. Like,
you give 3?
I mean, well, first of all, like Harden and Durant are both over 30, so even them
Everybody
being
ain't
elite,
LeBron.
like they, right. And KD's coming off Achilles. Like James Harden's been durable throughout his career, but
Harden coming off a diet.
no fat shaming on this podcast. And then Kyrie's always hurt.
About Ken all the time, talking about.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think it's a bet that those last couple picks that they have coming, like that those should be good, which was essentially what happened the last time Brooklyn traded all their draft capital. So I don't know.
They were
Like
good.
I personally, apparently, what's his name didn't want to go to Houston. He wasn't excited. Ben Simmons wasn't excited about going to Houston. So that's why there was a little bit of trepidation there. Also, I don't think Fertitta wants to deal with Daryl Morey. But I'm gonna take the most solid piece I can get. Apparently, they could have gotten. Philly wasn't trying to give up Maxey, but like you could have got Thibault, Simmons, and a couple first, or at least that's what they were asking for. If that's the case, then I don't know, like, because the thing is, if you take Ben Simmons and it don't work out, and then 2-3 years from now he's like, I want out, like then you can trade Ben Simmons not necessarily for a Harden type haul, but you can trade him for a couple first round picks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But maybe you're just delaying the inevitable at that point. And if you don't feel like Ben Simmons is going to be the cornerstone piece to your rebuild, then
They may have been
again,
the case.
he's like 20, 23, 24, some shit like that. Like
They may have just thought like, you know what? Nah, we good.
Pretty
Honestly.
much.
and
I
like
mean,
you
it's
got to
okay.
build like a specific team around Ben Simmons to thrive, and that's not the team that they have right now. And I'm not
At
sure
all.
how you get to that. Because John Wall is going to be hard. Like he's been playing well, and I'm glad to see him healthy, but it ain't gonna be easy to get off of John Wall to bring in the shooters and the different types of players that you need to surround.
Yeah,
Ben Simmons with.
Depot seems like he just makes more sense with the current roster that they have. So if they're really thinking that they might have something with this roster with Wood and Wall and Boogie and Gordon,
I mean,
hey,
they
Depot
lost to the
turns.
Bulls. But
I mean,
he was hooping.
hey,
He was
it
hooping.
happens from time to time. We lost to the Knicks,
Yeah.
so it is what it is at this point. Like again, no off seasons. I'm still not taking too seriously. Like things will settle down in a couple more weeks. That's not including the COVID stuff because that's throwing rosters into just a frenzy. So
Dude, these games getting canceled like 5 in a row.
man, the Wizards ain't played in like a week.
Boston just started playing, but yeah, like they skipping 4 games at a time and shit.
But yeah, NBA is fun. That trade made me that was exciting. Looking forward to watching how this
Last point on this though, like
Mhm.
TNT, I get it. It's a new team. It's exciting. But please talk about the actual basketball game that you were broadcasting instead of like pontificating on, oh man, this is what the big three is going to look like come playoff time. It's like, dude, like, who just made that shot? Because like y'all keep saying the wrong player.
Who getting these buckets behind you, sir?
At least throw in,
please commentate.
3-pointer by Joe Harris, like instead of saying 3-pointer by Jason Capono, who hasn't played like Marv Albert. I'm sorry,
Or
like
say Jeff Green played for the Bucks last year.
yeah, like what?
Like when did he ever play for the Bucks?
Never, not never. Like Marv Albert. I don't advocate for many people to lose their jobs, but somebody just needs to like unplug his microphone, make him think he's still calling the game, and just like not broadcast it because he. And then you pair him with Chris Webber, who's just like the worst color man. Like,
oh Lord,
Trash.
Chris
I
Webber just
can't
be talking. His sentences don't even make sense. By the time he
No.
gets to the end of it, it's like he forgot the beginning of it and he talked about something completely different. Like,
And then you can tell he really don't care about the game. Like, I'll say this for NFL announcers: like, they make you think like football is the most important thing, like is the most exciting thing. It could be 1-12 teams playing on Thursday Night Football, and it's gonna be the game of the week because we're here and we're celebrating football. Basketball announcers, like, they just sound bored half the time.
Like they making shit up on the fly. Talk about that one time you was hooping. Okay. I remember this one time. I'm like, bro, just talk about the game. Just give me the game.
And I refuse to believe that the best colored people are all stars or former all stars. Like, can you bring in like a former role player? Like, I'm sure there are better people equipped for calling a basketball game. I'm sorry. Like,
And also,
it's
before we move
frustrating.
on,
You can go
before we
ahead.
move on, just want to shout out Karis LeVert. So during his physical, during the trade, the Pacers found that he had a mass on his kidney. So just want to send out some positive vibes to him, some love. Definitely happy you got traded in the situation, so they were able to find this. Because if not, who knows at what point this would have been identified. So just prayers up to Karis LeVert, man. Just hoping everything works out for you with that.
And assuming he's healthy, like that was a
And-
genius move by Indiana, by the way.
Oh, for sure. Because Indiana's already looking really good. They're playing some good basketball. All right. Let's go to the radio. Ken, would you tell the people, in case they're new here, what the radio segment is?
Yes. The radio says shit. Yo, so this is a part of the show where we play something that is written, composed, created, or performed by someone in the sports realm. Tim is our DJ. DJ, give it to me.
Give it to me.
And this is our backstage production meeting.
Yes, sir. So in this backstage production meeting, I let the guys know what the song is going to be for the week. And, we just figure out how we're going to go live on air. So this week, Lil Wayne made a new remix to Green and Gold for this playoff run. And we're going to play it because
It was requested.
it was requested, and we played the other one a couple weeks ago, so I guess it's kind of fresh in the memory of the genius that the first one was. And you know what, Tim, do you want to cue the music in, or do you do you want to?
I heard this shit. I was like, bro, he could have kept this.
Like Pizzle on what's name?
Man, Pizzle versions today still better.
Yeah.
But
yellow.
we got part two. So how do you want to cue this in? Do you want to?
I'll introduce him and let him do his own thing. I don't want my voice over none of this shit. So
I will say this before we go live on, because I heard it as well. Has anyone else not heard it yet?
I have not heard it.
Only heard
Okay.
the Instagram snippet. I haven't heard the whole song.
So I want to say this. Overall, the song is not as good as the first one. So I'll just set that bar right there. To me, the beginning is kind of weird, but once you actually hear the Green and Gold beat, it picks up, because
that's what it picks up. But that's half. Never mind.
But yeah, let's get into it. Cam, would you count us down to go live on air, please?
Yep.
Forgot how to count?
Nah, 5.
1, 2.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm telling you, they keep winning. This keeps getting played. I'm gonna be sitting here talking about the Listerine. I don't remember the bars, but I'm gonna be knowing them.
Watch him out.
I'm gonna be rhyming Preston Smith with Zadarius Smith.
Something about Alicia Keys and Swiss cheese. That's what I remember.
On hot plates.
That's why he's Listerine, because you got the cheese. I get it. I'm picking up what he was putting down. I get it.
No.
You saw the vision.
Nobody answered my question. Do you want to hear this again?
I'm going. Yes, I do, because that means they're still winning.
I want to hear it for the next month.
Okay,
Yes,
that's fair.
I don't want to hear this
I never want
song
to hear it
stop.
again.
I give you that.
Yes,
was
I
great.
do.
That was true.
It was not good. It was not good.
Leave it to Ken to tell the truth.
I mean,
If he made it about the Bears, he'd have lied to us in our face.
If he was rapping like nigga, that shit's still garbage, motherfucker.
Hey, we fans, and we was all sitting here like, eee.
Should I do a dramatic reading of Green and Yellow lyrics?
A
Do a
dramatic
part.
reading?
Go ahead. Yes,
do a
yes,
little bit.
yes. I want to hear a part.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I know Zadarius Smith gonna back him up. And you know Darnell a savage, bro. Got Mason Crosby. The kick is good. Green and yellow. We sticking to it. Super Bowl goals. Shooting for the stars. Baby, trigger, pull it. Okay. Uh-huh. You know what it be.
Yeah.
Cheesehead, Alicia Keys.
Oh,
I'm going Swiss cheese.
He threw Alicia Keys.
Keys.
I told you.
Falling hard like Big Meech.
oh.
Big League,
I thought he said
Super
big.
Bowl champs. Big rings, big bling, Lombardi trophy. Yeah, Vince team. Shining like Bart Starr. Number 15, in green. Boy, I'm fresher than some mint green. Listerine.
Listerine.
About to mess around, make history. Check on.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I just had to hear the Listerine bar. We're good. We're all good here.
Oh shit! Hey, Bard.
Hey, I forget what you said already, but it was something that was hilarious when you slowed it down. Actually,
Bars.
He said
Listen
something
back
about
to
Eric
it.
is the MVP. It's a Eric on what? Lambeau
Maybe
Field
someone-
for sure. Hall of Fame, number 4, legendary, just like Eric, MVP, run up the score.
I think they probably meant to
Oh,
say
maybe
Aaron.
it's supposed to be Aaron.
It probably meant to be Aaron.
I was about
But-
to say, like, Eric's on back.
Hopefully, we'll hear that song again after a win.
Every time the Packers win, I'm gonna do another dramatic reading.
Oh no.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
bravo.
Hey,
Bravo.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here for it.
So there was this tweet that I saw from a Twitter account at fraudactivity_, and that tweet simply said, "Bro, the WWE was getting away with a lot of wild on national television."
Mm-hmm.
That's all the tweet said. He didn't elaborate. He didn't put nothing underneath it. He just left it at that. And wrestling fans found that tweet and just started posting all kinds of clips that they think would fall under the umbrella of being some wild-ish seen on national television. So I just wanted to go through some of these memories,
Sorry, what was the name of the
see
Twitter
what you
account?
remember. At fraudactivity_.
Okay.
And some wild stuff here. So, do you guys recall? Of course, we have our favorite, The Godfather. Anything The Godfather pretty much did, you could,
Yeah.
you could sum up as being.
Roll up a fatty
The
for
existence
this
of
pimp daddy.
Cameras are gonna be there. All the superstars. Tallahassee.
You gotta let Godfather get his stuff off.
It's time once again for everybody to come aboard
Okay.
I know I was the only one. Is there really pimps up in this house? To all y'all that know that the Godfather be pimping hoes,
Nationwide.
I want you to roll a fatty for this pimp daddy. Light that blood up inside.
Pimpin' ain't
That
easy.
motherfucker. 10.
We were children.
and I knew that bar for bar. I can
Pimpin'
recite
ain't
it from
easy.
memory.
Roll up a fatty for this pimp daddy.
Man, I didn't even know what that meant. I was sitting there.
Oh.
Pimpin' ain't easy. All the times they put Mae Young through a table.
They
You
was
can't
beating the
just
hell
be
out that
putting
old lady.
senior citizens through tables.
They was beating the hell out that old lady. And then she had a hand.
Bro.
We was like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Mark Henry had sex with a trans woman.
Live sex
Wait.
on TV.
Yeah,
What?
like, or no, he was like feeling like it was China's friend, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's my friend," and then he was like kissing her, and then he like fell between her legs, like, "Oh my god, it's a penis."
Oh,
That was on
my.
TV.
That was on TV.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah, that was
I
wild,
don't-
bro.
It was wild. Do you remember when Vince and Shane wrestled against Shawn Michaels and God?
Yeah, that was.
Like the spotlight coming
Fam.
down the damn ramp.
Hey,
Like, bro,
music-
come on, dog.
White House.
Vince, like, I was watching, I was like, this man, like, I didn't want to laugh at Vince, but I couldn't help but laugh at Vince, and I felt bad about it because I was like, I probably shouldn't laugh at this. Like,
You
Yeah.
got a spotlight as God coming down the ramp.
man, a whole spot. And then he stopped God too and was like, your music trash. Let's give you some real music.
Oh, but they did say in the documentaries he really wasn't getting that shit off because afterwards USA and they'd be on his ass. He said that them executives would come in there throwing shit, going ham on him in the board meetings, about to fine
He
him.
didn't
About
care.
True,
Yeah.
because he kept pushing the envelope because he kept giving them ratings.
Man,
But it was listen to the WWE versus WCW one.
Let's see how he has many names. Let's try. He's the holy roller. He's the hipster from heaven. He's the man upstairs. From the kingdom of heaven, please welcome God.
I'm sorry. And it's just a little spotlight.
It's a
Like,
heart. And there's a spotlight coming down the dang old ramp, bro. I'm like, bro, come on now.
how could you, like,
Got the heart playing. The
it has to be a heart with God, right? Like,
Got the angels sing. Come on, bro. Hey, y'all talk about me and Ken.
Here, hold it, stop it. Stop the music. Oh, stop it. Now listen, God,
blasphemy. Coming up.
we're
More
not
of it.
doing things your way tonight. We're doing things my way. This is not your house. This is mine.
Don't think I would say that on national TV or ever.
You call that an entrance? That's not an entrance. Tonight we're going to do it WWE style. Let's get down. Let's jiggy with it. Come on, God. Let's see what you got. Come on. Come on, God.
And that's the music he gave God.
Man wants God to get jiggy with it. Stop that in his tracks.
Just, I mean, it's some terrible corny shit
Just,
sometimes, bro.
just utterly wild. He also said nigga on TV, so we shouldn't be really surprised that he do anything.
Tell me I did not.
How much you think he got paid to go along with that? Like, do you think he got cut extra to be like, all right, what I'm gonna do?
I'm sure he
Yeah.
got side-eyed in the back. For sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
I wouldn't have. No.
They're like, you really went with that shit? Like, come on,
Like,
Booker.
I mean, then they had the. I wasn't watching when Boogeyman was on there, but
Oh, with the worms and shit.
yeah, most of everything that was wild that happened with WWE was due to Vince. So you can just keep it at that. Having Triple H hump corpses and
Yeah.
some wild stuff happened in that show, man. Wild
And
stuff.
people fighting for the custody of his child.
the custody match.
Dominic and I mean not Dominic. Yeah,
Yeah,
over
it was
Dominic.
Dominic. Over Dominic, who's actually a wrestler now. Like, I guess he couldn't be anything else when you had a custody battle about yourself when you were a child on TV. But yeah, wrestling's wild. I just wanted to bring up some of the memories because who would have thought? But since we're talking about wild stuff, the New York Mets, they fired GM Jared Porter
That shit was wild.
after
Yeah.
he admitted to sending explicit photos, including his penis. Like just meat, just raw, just out there. And he sent the picture to her after he sent her like 60 texts and she wasn't even responding no more. He was for real, like just in her inbox, like, what's good?
That was the Hail Mary, like, you know.
Meet me here. So first he sent her a bulge, and then she still didn't respond. So he's like, you know what? Let me just amp this up. And then he listen. If anybody who's listening to this does not know at this point, women we do not like unsolicited dick pics. We don't we don't send
The
don't be
words.
sending those randomly. Like it's not something that we like. It's not necessarily pretty to look at. Like, it's not like, come on, man. Like, it's not like you sending like titties or something. Like, at least that's enjoyable to see. No one wants to look at a penis.
Life lessons.
Life
Like,
lessons.
I've always like what like who is this working for? Like I can't imagine like all these people are like.
Ooh, bro.
It's ridiculous. Like
I've never heard
that's
in the
real
history
harassment.
of anything like, you know, just getting a random dick in the inbox was like, oh my God, I need to hop on that. Like, like
Don't work. It don't work. Don't do it. Don't
I
do
did.
it.
Yeah, just got hired by the Mets, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, a few months ago.
As a
And
new
the Mets
GM,
said
yeah.
they said we were serious when we said we want a culture of integrity and whatnot, and we can't have somebody doing stuff like that here if we're trying to install that culture. Which,
You just get the job.
man, but glad he got what he got there because can't be doing stuff like that, buddy. That's good old harassment. All right.
I went full Brett Favre.
At least, never mind. Not getting myself canceled.
I don't even want to know what.
You know, let's do a quick NBA season check-in. We're about a quarter of the way through the season. We've kind of talked about the Bucks a little bit in regards to how they matched up with the Nets. So I'm put the onus on you first, Ken. So how do you feel about your team so far, those Los Angeles Lakers?
I'm very happy with the way that the Lakers are playing. People aren't really talking about us, but we out here balling. LeBron is looking good. He's not looking his age. AD footwork is getting even better. I feel like the role players, KCP, he stepped his game up. He started to shoot lights out. Even Kuzma is actually flowing in the offense a lot better as well. So everything's looking good, man. Like honestly, we look better than we did last year when we won a shoot. So I'm very confident with us running it back.
How y'all feel about them trying to expose Gasol
Hey man,
with the rookie?
hey, it
It
happens.
happens. It happens.
Yeah, but
Happens.
when they signed Gasol, I was like, ain't he old and slow now?
Bro.
He be passing. He's
He
sitting
did
there
great passing.
facilitating. He's facilitating well
And none of his ex.
giving
He
it.
goes.
And I mean, like, think about who they had to play in the playoffs too. Like, granted, the Clippers have Serge, so that isn't like a major inside threat, but you gotta go through Jokic. You get to the finals, you might have
Maybe
Embiid.
Rudy.
Like, you need a big body for a certain matchup. And like, for as good as JaVale and Dwight Howard were last year, like both of them are kind of light.
White ain't
Like-
there no more.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like they survived last year, but like they didn't really have anybody that could do anything with Jokic.
Yeah.
No.
And then Aiden probably gonna be in the playoffs this year. So you got the possibility.
But he don't play like a big though.
Yeah, I was like, he ain't no banger like that down low. But listen, the Nets did what they did, but the Lakers, I still think, should be considered title favorites at this point.
Absolutely.
I feel like one, defending champions. You get that on that chip just off the top. But like you said, y'all honestly do look better than y'all did last year. It's kind of like as if y'all just kind of kept rolling from where y'all last stopped and subbed a couple people out and then just got better. Like it's like the play is still evolving. Like I don't think that the form of the Lakers that we see now is even going to be what they're completely looking like in the playoffs. But y'all look good. Y'all the belle of the West for sure.
For sure. LA all day.
I can't wait to see this Bucks Lakers game on Thursday.
Oh, that's
Going down.
game.
Well, what we doing?
Shoot, what y'all trying to do?
Well, it's whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll parlay.
Yeah, y'all check our social media. You know, watch our social medias for.
Yeah, we might end up doing something for that game. So, Bucks. How y'all feeling about the Bucks so far this season?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that their backcourt is a little small. I would like to have a little bit more size. there because I feel like if you have DJ Augustine and Brent Forbes on the court at the same time, unless they are both shooting lights out, like
I don't
it's
think it's even
unsustainable.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's my nitpick, then I think I'm in a pretty good position. Like Giannis hasn't been Giannis necessarily so far this year, but I think he's the one that's had to make the biggest adjustment based on the changes that they've made to the offense. And I mean, he's facilitating well. The free throw shooting has to get better.
My God, yes.
And it's funny, like it seems like people are only just now realizing like what happened because it really everything flipped. Like basically Game 3 Eastern Conference Finals.
Toronto. Yep.
Like he was.
Yep.
I mean, he wasn't great, but he was like
He's in the 70s.
for his career, he was well above 70%, like as a free throw shooter prior to that point. And like he's just fallen off a cliff since then. And you saw him get rattled, and then he couldn't hit a free throw basically for the rest of the series. So like it's completely mental. And like now I think he's trying too hard to like overcorrect like functional deficiencies. And it's like it's between your ears, Sam. Like and the more work that they do on his shot, the worse it gets. And like basically you got to go back to the drawing board. Like break everything down. Just like don't need like forget everything that you learned over the last 5 years, essentially. Just get like just shoot it. Like I don't even care about your form. I don't care about shit. Like just shoot.
Whatever makes you
comfortable. Think it.
Wherever you comfortable, let that ball go.
Exactly.
Pretty
like,
much.
He's so in his head at this point. It's not gonna get better until like he addresses that. Like I don't know what it is, but yeah. So yeah, that took me down a rabbit hole. Also, I think it won't happen this year, but I think they need to. The sooner that they come to the realization that he's a center, I think is better. Like he's a center that has perimeter skills, but he's a center. Like, and like if you can hone his post game, if he can do more, like on the block. I mean, it's not you're not gonna just dump it into the post. Like that's not basketball in 2021. But like if he can do a little bit more big man skills as opposed to like this pipe dream of adding a 3-point shot, like the much better off everybody involved would be. But that's a tangent. Anyway, this team, like I'm solid with this. Like they're gonna win a lot of regular season games. I think they're better equipped for the playoffs. I think they do need another piece on the wing. Like how they get that, I don't know. But we solid for now.
I like the little wrinkles that they're throwing in the offense, like the free throw line, picking pop with Brent Forbes and Giannis, and we seen that a lot in the fourth. And
they got a great 2-man game.
Yeah, and I was like, that's Brent's spot. So like if you're trying to work hard to get him to that spot, that's more than likely that's something that we're working on mid-game. And they probably been working on it in practice as well, but that's something they're trying to add to the offense just in case they want to change it up a bit. So I mean, looking at it, like I see they still trying to figure things out, work on things, incorporate things. So I mean, but they still gonna be a problem. Like we're not going nowhere. We're still a problem. Like the Nets beat us by 2. Granted, they're still figuring it out too, but we're still figuring things out as well. And like a lot of people are fearful of us because of our continuity, because we do have more players that start together.
We lost all the count.
The starters, our starters.
Well, I mean, like of all the teams in the league, like only Detroit returned less minutes from last year's team.
Damn.
So the total minutes that were played last season. The bench, Bledsoe, like, yeah, like, and part of that is just because, like, they didn't play their starters that much. So the bench players that got replaced play a large chunk of minutes.
Yep.
Which is also, like, to your point, like, I'm happy with some of the adjustments that they're making. Like, I kind of wish they would do a little bit more, but it's a good start. Like, he's playing the starters more. They've added different wrinkles to the offense. Defense, they're trying some stuff a little bit more. Like that's more so. And I mean, like honestly, the defense wasn't really a problem. Like yeah, it gives up a lot of threes, but at least then they were locking down the paint. Like I feel like now they aren't
loose.
Yeah, like it's a little creaky. So it's like, well, pick one, damn it. Like, but yeah, I just want to see them be more adaptable, which means that they have to experiment a little bit more during the regular season.
Yeah, I agree with y'all on the Bucks. Drew Holiday has been even better than what I thought I was going to be getting from
Mhm.
Drew Holiday. He is ridiculously strong, and you see that it's evident in the way he plays. Like, he is just such a different player than Bledsoe, and that's not to say that Bledsoe was bad, but he's the way that what he brings to this team is what they need, especially come playoff time.
I've been
Like
trying
the
to
way, oh, just real quick, just my last thing. Drew and Chris have like an instant chemistry. Like the two of them play really well together. Like they seem to already be picking up when one needs the ball in certain places, and I'm gonna give you the space to do this. Like it just feels to me that Drew and Chris are really clicking. Like they play well together, and I love watching the improvements that Chris Middleton's also taking with his game, because he's better this season than he was last season, and last season he had a career season.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out where people was comparing Drew and Bledsoe's game, because I haven't seen it.
Because they're defensive-minded point guards. That's why. But they both they defend differently. Like it's completely different ways that
I'm gonna say
they
it's
go about doing it.
completely different.
They both drive. Like they both drive, but they get to the basket differently. Like it's
Like for me, it was more so like similar strengths and weaknesses than necessarily that
But
they
is
play
it?
the same.
yes.
Yeah.
I just
still
feel
feel that
defensive. The defensive. Yes, they both are defensive, like minded guards who tend to.
But I feel
the
like
drive
Bledsoe's biggest weakness was his decision making.
Yeah, I would
You
say
think that's
his
Drew's
biggest.
issue too?
No, I'm just saying they play. I'm not saying they have the exact same
Again, it's
deficiencies and
similar
strengths. I'm just saying
right.
that they play the game similar. They're both defensive-minded points. They just do it differently. Like when you sub
They don't
out
necessarily
Bledsoe,
shoot well from the outside. They're
Yeah.
good at getting to the rim and scoring around the basket for smaller players. They're both lockdown defenders, like good point of attack defenders. Like, yeah, they're like if you look at the player type that they are, they're very similar. The way they go
just
about executing that is almost completely different.
Yeah, completely different.
And Drew is bigger and more versatile defensively.
Yep. But it's like, to give Bled his credit, one thing that Bled could do exceptionally well was get over screens. I've never seen somebody be able to get through screens the way that Eric Bledsoe does. It's like he has Hall of Fame pick dodger. You cannot keep him there. He is not getting caught up. He is getting through. But that's enough about Eric Bledsoe.
And I feel like he's a slightly better defender of guards, but Holiday can defend up. So he's again like there becomes a point of diminishing returns, like when like you're kind of splitting hairs at that point. So like if you can get somebody that's more versatile and you don't lose much at point of attack, like it's a big upgrade.
Yeah.
So again, like player type wise, similar.
Player style wise,
Yeah.
opposite. I'm gonna ask y'all this and then we can move on. Let's talk rookies. Anyone standing out to you? Anyone who, you might have been impressed by a little bit by the way they've been playing.
The leading question if I've ever heard one.
Just go ahead and spit it out. Might as well go ahead and finish
Can
I
it
mean,
out.
Charlotte, I know y'all listening. You know, the guy in Charlotte right now looks like he's be, rookie of the year. And I've been saying this for how long now?
Hey, we called this shot a while ago on this show.
Exactly.
Now, LaMelo hooping.
Camille, the point guard, might as well wrote Ken's name on that live. Goddamn.
Hey, but no, LaMelo really is hooping. Maxey and Philly was surprised. Like, he's been surprising to me as well. I didn't know too much about that kid, but that kid, he can hoop.
I have one last question, not rookies related, but like, who's your MVP so far?
I already said mine, KD.
Yeah, KD.
Like when we were gonna do this, like if we had done this a week ago, I was gonna say Embiid, but they've kind of fallen off. I mean, part of that's COVID related, but I'm gonna go Bron, honestly.
I mean, I was thinking Bron then the whole time. Like, I mean, LA still just like they coasting. Like, it's not like they really struggling like that. Like, yeah, they lost to Golden State, but they're figuring things out too. And Bron just been being Bron. Like,
and I think again, it's just the Bron being Bron that we forget how like amazing like he truly is. But
Yeah.
still, I think KD go get MVP this year, and he go get comeback player of the year. So
That doesn't exist.
Huh.
They don't have that award. That's NFL.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know, everybody, oh, he came back from injury type shit. Not saying award, but you know,
Gotcha.
the nigga.
He would be if that was an award.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well,
Like
I mean,
easy.
Steph playing.
Oh yeah,
Steph,
yeah.
I fell asleep during that Lakers Warriors game, but I heard what happened in that fourth quarter.
Mhm.
And like, I kind of laughed when Ken said, you know, AD's footwork is improving, because like, yeah, Steph had his ass dancing.
Hey, Steph gonna have anybody dancing.
I mean, again, like, no shame in it. I'm just saying, like, it did happen.
Mhm.
All right, let's do some quick hits and get out of here. Do we have any blow the whistles?
Man.
Just curious. No, anybody y'all mad at? Think about it. We got some time, a little time. Going into this NFL offseason, there were 7 teams. Well, I should say this upcoming season. We're still in the middle of the 2020 season. So next season, 7 different teams are going to have new head coaches. There are 2 teams still officially looking. And I'm just going to quickly rattle off who some of those head coaching hires were. Urban Meyer landed with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. That was a long time coming.
Yeah. Brandon Staley landed with the Los Angeles Chargers. He was the Rams defensive coordinator this past season. Robert Saleh, is that how you pronounce his last name? Salah. He is the new head coach of the New York Jets. He was the 49ers defensive coordinator. And I believe he is the first Muslim American head coach. So that's tight.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations,
dope.
sir.
The Falcons hired, that's also, I would say also a good coach. The Falcons hired Arthur Smith. He used to be, he was the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator. And the Detroit Lions, I believe, are hiring Dan Campbell.
Yes.
Which just leaves the Texans and the Eagles left looking for head coaches.
Worst 2 jobs in the NFL.
And that's why they still looking.
So
Baltimore
naturally,
released 5.
But
Yeah. Baltimore actually released 5 veterans, including RG3, Mark Ingram, and Tramon Williams. That also explains furthermore why Mark Ingram probably wasn't playing last week.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Tramon Williams was there.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, damn. Because, I mean, they secondary, they go, what was he, number 5 guy? Because shit, I think Jimmy Smith at number 4.
I don't think he played that much. We're going to find out.
Marlon, Jimmy Smith. They had Marcus Peters there. Like, where the fuck did he fit in at?
He played 6 games this season.
Like, yeah, come on, bro. I'm about to say he couldn't see the field with their secondary. They had 4 cold players in the secondary, just in the corners. They signed him just in case. Okay. He got there like in week 10.
Like, it's like you just run with 4 corners.
Like, you do. No, you do. You're right. Because I'm sure, like, damn, I don't think he would have seen the field, and he really did.
I mean, did he play last year? Or was he still in the Packers last year?
Yeah, he was with us last year.
Okay. I know he was floating around free agency for a while, so I didn't know he got picked up anymore.
Yeah, he ain't taking the season off. Like, this was the fewest amount of games that he's ever played. And that's 6. So, shout out to Tramon, though. Kyrie Irving was fined $50,000. And he's going to have to forfeit, I believe, like, I think it's almost to $900,000, unless they were including the fine in that fee with him. But for the various COVID violations that took place with the video that we saw and discussed last week.
And he apologized. He good now.
Yeah, he apologized. He made some sense of it.
He just said it was family and personal stuff that he didn't want to talk about, which fits prerogative.
That's fine. He says that he called his teammates, talked to him.
Yeah, just wear a mask, man. That's all we ask.
And wash their hands.
At the bare minimum, wear a mask. I guess I should say.
I mean, like, try to let people know. Like, don't call no show.
Yeah, that's how you get fired from jobs in real life.
Yeah,
call no show.
You get 3
too
not
many
7.
times.
3
the Cavaliers are actually looking to trade or waive their former first round pick last year's selection. Well, no, 2019. Kevin Porter Jr. Porter ain't played with the team yet this season. He had his own personal things that he was going through, and they were recently bringing him back around the team. When they brought him back after this trade, he walked into that locker room and saw that his locker was given to Taurean Prince, who
What
they
the
acquired
fuck?
in that 4-team blockbuster trade. And that is pretty much what he said. They said that he, quote, grew angry, end quote.
Fuck all you.
And he even threw food.
What the fuck is it with people in Cleveland throwing food? Like they are throwing food.
Do some soup.
Like y'all just need to have like Lunchables in Cleveland because
That's their lucky boy. They gonna throw them hard ass.
just
But
had
keep the
Jell-O,
Capri
some
Sun.
shit that's soft.
They're going to keep the Capri Sun and throw everything else. So they got that going. There's going to be a team that takes a chance on him. He's too young and
Too
too
talented.
talented still, even with his off-field issues to not get picked up. CJ McCollum, Portland Trail Blazers shooting guard. He is going to be out, I believe, up to 4 weeks. They're looking at now with a couple sprains in his foot. So and going to be without his partner.
Yeah.
And Nurkic got hurt. So
Broke
Portland's
his
getting
wrist.
bit with the injury bug early. Again, hopefully it doesn't get too much worse for them.
Dang, what up? You know who never gets hurt? Giannis.
Knock on some wood.
All right.
Historically. Historically. You don't hear it.
Lord, let's sweet baby
Pass that
Jesus.
before
Keep that
we
in.
Dang, if you want out, come play with your boy.
Y'all was talking about it. That's like you mentioned. That's one of the things. Where you come here. No, you come here. No, you come here. No, you come here. But damn, you should really come here though.
For sure.
Milwaukee can show mad love.
We would. So there were some new bracketing principles adopted for the 2021 NCAA tournament. Almost went NCAA P. I'm gonna just leave that at that.
Now we trying to let you live and go on.
Nope. If you're interested in it, you can go ahead and if bracketology is up your alley, there's something new there for you to check out.
There's something new there.
Look, we at the end of the show, baby. That's all you're gonna get about brackets. We ain't got no blow the whistle, so let's get into the Tech Top 5 for the week. Oh, we do? We got one? Oh, blow the whistle then.
Blow it.
Oh. Yeah, so my blow the whistle is on ESPN's Jackie MacMullan. She went on the Ryan Rossello podcast shortly after the James Harden trade broke. Like her, Rossello, and Bill Simmons were all kind of discussing, like everybody did in the last week, like what their thoughts are on the Nets' future and blah, blah, blah. So she was concerned about Kyrie and how he'll fit in with the rest of them, and kind of like he was still in the middle of his absence and wasn't really telling them what was going on. So she told a little story about back when he was in Boston. So I'll quote, she said, well, so I'll tell you this. One of the conversations I had with Kyrie through the years, one of them I had, I don't know, like 2 years ago, we got into an argument about, something. He was like, well, there shouldn't be an NBA draft. Players should be able to go wherever they want to. We're not, someone's property. And I'm like, yeah, you are, dude. That's the way it works. That's why you get paid these millions of dollars. First of all, bam, like, whether you think the NBA draft is a necessary evil in the NBA, that's one thing. But players are not property. Black bodies are not property. Like, regardless of how much they get paid, you do not own them. You own their basketball services. That is it. So don't say that they're property, and don't argue with me if I say I'm not property. Like, there should be no argument whatsoever. And saying that they get millions of dollars to get treated like property is also not true. They get paid millions of dollars because they create billions of dollars. By the collective bargaining agreement, they are entitled to 50% of all basketball-related income. That's why they get paid millions of dollars. Like, I hate it when fans, writers, whoever come in and try to say, oh, like you have to uproot your life and all this other shit. Like, no, they get that because they negotiated that. They get that money because they create capital. That's the way this shit works. So all that extra shit that you try to put on it, like, no, that is not that is not why they get paid that money. It might be a stipulation of getting paid, but it is not why they get that money. So get that shit out your brain right now. Again, like, don't ever in your white ass life try to tell me that I'm property as a black man.
It's a fact.
Don't do it. And usually I would have probably let some shit like this slide, but then she went on to say some shit about the Bucks that was just like completely incorrect. Well, not completely incorrect, but it was some coded language in here. So she had the following to say about Malcolm Brogdon, the Bucks keeping Eric Bledsoe originally over Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon, he should be on the Milwaukee Bucks right now, and Eric Bledsoe never should have been there. Don't even get me started. Priscilla tries to make the point that the Bucks probably let go of Brogdon because of his medical history. She goes on to say, yeah, but they also had Eric Bledsoe in-house, and they saw Eric Bledsoe on breakaway jams while they're up 30, grabbing his crotch and slamming the ball through. They saw the way he behaved in Phoenix. It's not like he's this model citizen. Brogdon's nickname is El Presidente. I'll take my chances with that kind of guy and his health history as opposed to Bledsoe, who just disappeared, evaporated in the thin air in the playoff, in postseason after postseason. Come on, dude. First of all, Brogdon, I've never heard anybody call Brogdon El Presidente. It's the president. But again, like, if you're going to make the point, like, be accurate about it. Second of all, like, Eric Bledsoe actually was a model citizen in Milwaukee. Like, I've never heard a bad word. Every one of his former teammates, front office, coaching staff, everybody loves Eric Bledsoe in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Like, you can be upset with the way that things went in his time at the end in Phoenix, but I also don't really blame him because Phoenix was a shit show, and everybody around the league has said so for years. Like, Robert Sarver is a terrible owner. So I'm not going to really begrudge him for forcing his way out of Phoenix. Talking about he does breakaway jams and grabs his crotch while they're up 30, like, that's some coded ass, racist ass language. Like, you know what that type of description evokes in people. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. And yes, the Bucks made a mistake getting rid of choosing Eric Bledsoe over Malcolm Brogdon. We can all pretty much agree on that at this point. But don't bring all that extra shit into it. Like, for what? Like, that tells me that you have an agenda against Eric Bledsoe on top of the agenda that you have against Kyrie Irving. Because I've heard her talk about Kyrie Irving numerous times since he got to Boston, and she's never had a positive word to say about him. So, which, I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he was an asshole to her, because, like, you argue with me about being property. Like, like, fuck you. Like, you never get a quote from me. But anyway, yeah, Jackie MacMullan, NBA quote-unquote legend, Hall of Famer, like, fuck you, basically.
There you have it.
Second that notion.
Tech Top 5.
Is that too much?
No, you good.
Oh, you said it all. Last week's Tech Top 5 was greatest college football championship games. This week, we're looking at the best handles in NBA history. So top 5 NBA handles. Tim?
All right, number 5, I have Pistol Pete. Go ahead and get the razzle dazzle on the list. Got to throw the old school back one time. Number 4, I got Jay Crossover. Number 3, I got Mr. Steph Curry. Number 2, I got Allen Iverson. Number 1, I got Kyrie Irving.
Okay. So let's see. F5. Let me get Tim Hardaway.
You know what?
See that I put him on my list too.
Yeah. I was thinking about Steph. I didn't really give Steph as much credit as I should have.
I didn't either. Now that I'm looking at my list,
like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, Steph
be
on a string. Like,
he do.
Yeah. Sorry.
Right.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. One. Shit. I was about to go to 1. 5, Tim Hardaway. 4. Let me get Rod Strickland. That boy had some grips. And he's actually the one that basically taught Kyrie. So you get extra points for that.
Very true.
3, Jason Williams from Sacramento.
White chocolate.
Yeah,
White chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
2, Iverson, 1, Kyrie.
I like it.
All right. I got number 5, Jason White, Chocolate Williams. 55. That man, I used to love watching him play basketball. Number 4, I got Tim Hardaway. Still one of the just the illest crossovers I've ever
Yeah.
seen. He used to catch up
Hardaway-
every time. Like, you know
Oh,
that's
yeah.
his move,
Yeah.
and you still gonna get caught.
Yeah. Oh,
You still getting caught. Number 3, I got Jamal Crawford. His dribbling style is so interesting to me in part because he's not like a quick dribbler. Like, it's not like he's doing moves really quick. He's just so freaking shifty, and he has such control over the ball that I had to put him on the list. Now, number 2 and number 1, arguably irreversible to me. Like, if you wanted to argue that 2 should be 1 and 1 should be 2, I wouldn't be mad at you. But I'm going in the same line as Tim and Eric have so far. I got Iverson at 2, and I got Kyrie at 1.
indeed. All right. My top 5 at 5 I have Jamal Crawford, 4 Jason Williams, 3 Tim Hardaway, 2 AI, 1 Kyrie. And there you have it.
There you have it.
I want to show some love though to like guys that I couldn't put on my list because I feel like they weren't good enough NBA players. But like Rayford Austin and Guy Shammgod.
Yeah, right for yeah.
Skip to Malou.
Mm.
Also want to shout out Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas, because he used to have the ball on the string too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of the Jordan stuff, but I feel like Isaiah Thomas doesn't get as much shine anymore as he should. Like, he should be, I feel like, exalted higher for his on play court. Like, he's a bad boy. He was a bad boy. Pun intended. That's the show this week. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all keep taking care of yourself. Stay safe. Share the show with somebody. You know, put us on. We appreciate y'all. If you would like to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On the Twitter, Instagram, and PSN at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE, because
your mom is fancy.
Thank you.
At Bucks Burner on Twitter.
So you get.
Yeah, damn right.
Every day underscore. Huh?
Every J, number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1. Jesus Christ. Every day underscore. Because I'm going to forget if I don't say it now. And then K Harris, on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. I'll say good night this week. I don't think I ever told y'all good night, but I'm saying good night because it's nighttime now. But good morning if y'all listen in the morning. And good afternoon and good evening.
Good everything. Goodbye.
Hell no.